Rauta's Skizzers episode. Joking aside, it's only my second physical copy that is about to be in this particular envelope, parcel, whatever you want to call it. And as such, let's unbox this. And how would I know what is inside of this? Because the name reveals it all. This one is Obituary. And now you're already wondering how on earth he got to listen to that album if that is the physical copy and he's already making the review without even editing this part. Well, magic called internet. So this time I am bound because I'm in Spain and not really with my stereo system here. I'm kind of bound to do music on streams mainly anyway. So here we have the physical copy for unboxing pleasure. And this, my friends, is as obituary as it can be, and also so far the best album of year 2023. I kid you not. I know a lot of people are not exactly fan of very boneheaded death metal such as this obituary one here. But then again, those who are into classic traditional death metal, the obituary way, are gonna love it. I'm pretty sure of it because at least for me, this Relapse Records release is golden. And by golden, I really mean the music is as good as supposed to be, or maybe even better than that. And this title is great, Dying of Everything. I mean, gotta be one of the most badass titles of year 2023, and also this beautiful cover. I mean, it is very, very, how to say, catastrophic, cataclysmic, the end of the world thing. But this is a little bit of a disappointment. The only kind of booklet you have is like with a pretty picture here. But what about the lyrics and all that stuff? No, you just have a kind of a lineup information and the other recording information and whatever, and that's it. But at least we get to enjoy the covers. So those who are looking for some cool lyrics to read, Obituary never been actually known for them, but all that stuff, well, you're gonna be a little bit disappointed. Anyhow, here we have Obituary's Metal Archive site, so let's indulge us with it. As you know, Obituary has been around for quite some time. I mean, what it is, like 35 years or so. So yeah, quite a long of a time for a death metal band that is still active. And through those years, the band has made quite a few albums and also compilation EPs, whatever. So you have all of it. Now, I've never been much of an Obituary fan. I mean, back in the 90s when I heard Obituary for the first time, I couldn't get over with those tardy vocals. I mean, they were just kind of a weird combination of the kind of a growliness and also the kind of almost like black metal uh, screaminess, the kind of a weird combo, which was just too much for a teenager like me. I mean, I kind of liked the riffs, but it took me quite a while to get an Obituary. So I was already in my 20s, maybe even 30s when I started to understand that actually Obituary is doing good music. I mean, the riffs are very boneheaded and simple and all that stuff, but also great at the same time. Now I get it. Obituary is not for everybody because of that. It's not the most brutal band out there. It's definitely not the most technical kind, and it's not very versatile in terms of, doing death metal. But what makes it so interesting is that they're able to do very cool songs and cool riffs with the very bare boned stuff. I mean, it's almost like recycling some kind of a punk ideas. Us, or as the band it seems to say, very Celtic Frost inspired ones. And after 35 years, they're still keeping the whole deal intact, keeping it very consistent on all that stuff. Now, one might have the fear that bands like these are getting out of ideas. I mean, come on, Iron Maiden. For fans, yeah, they have been making wonderful albums for, I don't know, 50 years. But for the semi-fans, Iron Maiden ceased to be interesting after the 90s. Obituary, however, is a different breed. They are able to tap the very same vein and still do good stuff. And as such, this is definitely my favorite album so far in 2023. Mind you, of course, there's not too many albums out. We're still living in January, but nonetheless. Now, 45 minutes is almost like too much of this kind of a boneheaded death metal, but Obituary is able to keep it alive because they have all it needs to be, included. That means cool riffs, proper production, which at the same time feels a little bit organic and kind of a powerless. but then you get kind of used to it. Now, there has been talk about how organic or how polished or super produced you can go and how people react to that. And a lot of bands seem to be like, okay, we're fed up with this overproduced stuff that especially early 2000s was all over the place. And somehow Obituary managed to dodge the bullet and decided like, okay, this is going to be heavy as fuck. And yet at the same time, it's going to sound organic and yet not sound weak as demo stuff. But it does take a little bit getting used to it. At least that was what I felt about it. The vocals are right there, and now that I like them, and by now I say decades, um, I like them. I mean, they are very traditional obituary vocals, and you're not supposed to expect anything to change, really. I mean, when it comes to riffs, sound, or the riffs or whatever, it's supposed to sound like obituary, and that's what it is. For those who never stood up, like those who never liked obituary are not gonna like this. I'm pretty sure of that. But those who liked obituary through the decades, from the very early albums, or even from the midpoint onwards, are gonna like obituary because it's like a pizza. It's not supposed to change. It's not like it's supposed to go through some kind of a evolution. All you need is the basic kind of ingredients, and you can just enjoy and indulge yourself with it through the decades until you die. And by the time if you die because of overweight for having too many pizzas or too much obituary, I think it has been worth your time. So anyway, through 10 songs to 45 minutes, you get obituary stuff, both good and bad. And in my opinion, it's really good. It's great actually. And to be honest, in my opinion, this is better than some obituary albums along the way. Maybe not able to challenge Slowly We Rot, but still, this is a really, really good album, deserving, in my opinion, a score of 8.5 out of 10, which in my books means great album. I mean, if you really do it in your radio music kind of a star rating, this would be roughly like 4.5 out of 5. So there you have it. A great album, which I hope you give a listen. Whether you are a new fan, old fan, or no Obituary fan at all, at least give Obituary a chance because Dying of Everything is such a great title and great album that it deserves your attention. That's it. Looking forward to your comments. What do you think about Obituary? What do you think about this album? Let me know and see you soon.